welcome to another All Things CLPM, Minnesota Avenue. We had the lovely pleasure of being back out there today on Minnesota Avenue, Main Street Corridor. I am Mr. Sellers, Project Coordinator, and I'm here with my colleagues, I'll start off with Mr. Rigoni.
Mr. Rigoni.
And who else?
You don't want to do it?
No.
Monty, wellness coach.
There we go. Yeah, and last but not least,
Mr. Harrington, outreach specialist.
yes, and so you can tell that there's a bond that is growing here around our efforts with CLPM. And so, fellas, let's just talk about some of the takeaways and some of the things that really stood out to us about this initiative and why it's so important, Mr. Harrington.
That's me. One of the takeaways, because this is actually once you guys had left, one of the things that stood out to me. Shout out to Ms. Robinson from the therapeutic session establishment. Because when we had shared about our surveys, she was going above and beyond to say, hey, I'm going to scan this over so all my patients that come in, they can also do the survey. I was like,
Where is this at?
It's right there by the Safeway,
Okay.
right by the parking lot.
Nice.
Yeah. So other than that, just engaging with the community members as always, seeing familiar faces as always. Today was a pretty decent day, and just enjoying the company with colleagues and feeling good to be welcomed back when we see community members that recognize the work that we do. So yeah. So, Monty, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad that actually the day kind of picked up after me and Mr. Sellers left. I know when we first started, we went in a couple places trying to get some surveys done, and people are a little bit hesitant, not really willing to kind of fill out the survey, giving us like, oh, I gotta speak to my supervisor or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfortunate, but I understand, kind of where they're coming from. But I'm glad that things really picked up for you guys after we left, and I'm actually really glad to hear that. So
For what it's worth, we still build a relationship.
It's definitely good just to come back in
Empowering the people.
And
reintroduce ourselves, because we met a couple new people, new hires and stuff like that. So it's just good to kind of continue to build the relationships that we've built over the past few months down there.
We want a popcorn or two.
Zach?
Hey.
So I think one of the things that jumped out at me today was the relationship building in the community. Running into one guy who just heard us introduce ourselves to the shop owner, and he came up and started asking about the organization. He's a returning citizen looking for a job, so being able to share some of our information with him and about the programming. Another individual in the barber shop that was getting his hair done ended up hearing our pitch, hearing things, came up to us afterwards, complimenting us on what we're doing in the neighborhood and how important it is. He's from up in, I believe, Marlboro County, but when it comes down to get his hair cut there, and just wanted to share his enthusiasm for the work we're doing. And then we saw a former client in Anthony DiGiovanni, and spoke with him for a little bit. See, he's doing well, getting back into society successfully. He's about to get recognized for doing so well by CSOSA. So I think it was one of those things to where the interaction with just random community members was the really rewarding thing for me today.
Definitely.
What was your takeaway, Mrs. Sellers?
I echo what you all have already said. I'm lost for words when it comes to running into former clients. We met Mr. Pete Blumenthal, and just hearing how he recently applied for the Pivot program, and I think for me, meeting Eric the mechanic at the phase 1 section of Minnesota Avenue was just interesting about how I think the first half of the survey talks about what are some of the concerns, and then the second half talks about resources. And I think the revamping of the survey really captures what a person is thinking and how to kind of flip the community from just surviving to thriving. So I think we've really gotten on track with that. And then even the section when Mr. Eric was filling it out about things that he does, pick up trash, right? He says hello to the community. Those things, right, are not just evident in us seeing Mr. Giovanni. It's not just evident in the lady who wanted to scan the survey and get it out to more people, or even the example that you shared, Mr. Talamonte. It is about, this initiative is all about loving your neighbor as you love yourself. And as we exude that love and that connection to this initiative, particularly when it hits home about some of the things that we've observed ourselves, it can be a launching pad to do more in spite of whatever challenges we may face, going through this process. So I'm looking forward to the other phases of the CLPM initiative. And with that being said, I say stay tuned for more content on all things community-led preventive model. Like, share, and follow us on social media.